You mean to tell me you've been letting someone who doesn't have an ounce of faith or belief in themselves hold you back from your calling?
Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different.
Hello my loves, it's Kay and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking all about how you can stop being a people pleaser, set boundaries for yourself, and completely free yourself from others' opinions. This is a big one for me because it's something that I used to struggle with so much and I finally feel free. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about this and hopefully this message helps someone. If you do enjoy videos like these, definitely don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment, show some love. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop on into today's video. So before we get into the meat of it, let's talk about what a people pleaser is, and you can see if you identify with this, if you have identified with this in the past, and if this video is truly for you. So real quick, I even had to look up the definition of what a people pleaser is, and this is exactly what it says. A people pleaser is a person who puts others' needs ahead of their own. This type of person is highly attuned to others and often seen as agreeable, helpful, and kind. But people pleasers can also have trouble advocating for themselves, which can lead to a harmful pattern of self-sacrifice or self-neglect. This, honestly, it sounds good on paper. When I read that definition, I was like, you know, it sounds like just an empathetic person, a compassionate person. I was like, no, there goes my people-pleasing mind back at it again. Because at the end of the day, even though this sounds very good on paper, after years of putting others' needs and wants and desires and dreams ahead of your own, you will find yourself completely drained of everything that you've ever wanted to do, completely drained of your energy because you've had leeches sucking it all out of you your whole life, and you've been willingly and freely giving it to people who don't deserve it. And not only will this drain you of your energy, but if it persists for years and years, eventually you will build up resentment for yourself and for those around you, and that harbored resentment and just negative energy can never be good. And this resentment is going to stem from the fact that you never focused and gave yourself even half of what you were giving to the people around you. So let's talk about the root of why you may still be a people pleaser. You might identify with that people pleasing mindset or those tendencies, because like I said, you guys, look, we're in this together. I'm a former people pleaser, okay? I definitely have struggled with this in the past, and let's identify the root of why it is that we tend to do this. So these tendencies were more than likely developed from early childhood relationships. You may have had people in your life that gave you conditional love. You had to prove yourself to, or you had to prove who you were to be able to receive that love from them. It could have stemmed from the fact that you may not have gotten enough attention when you were younger as a child, and you know, people in your life really didn't pay too much attention to you, and they didn't make you feel that you as a person or your thoughts, your dreams, your desires were as important as theirs. It could also stem from having an emotionally unavailable parent or guardian, or those relationships in your life where that person wasn't really emotionally available and didn't make you feel validated, didn't make you feel seen. It's so interesting to me to learn now that I'm 25 years old that a lot of internal traumas, or even the way that we are, really do stem from early childhood experiences. And this people pleasing, trust me, is absolutely one of those. People pleasers seek validation from the outside world. They seek validation from other people, and they place a lot of value and worth on other people's opinions of them. They tend to crave that feeling of being accepted or being recognized for what they've done or for who they are. So if I am reading you like a book right now and you're looking to change this mindset, this is absolutely the video for you. We're gonna dive into it, and after this video is over, you're gonna know exactly how to stop being a people pleaser, how to set concrete boundaries for yourself and stand on them, and gain more respect from yourself and more respect in your life. Okay, so let's talk about how you can stop people pleasing. We're gonna be giving actionable steps. We're not just gonna be talking in this video, okay? So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and let's really get into it, because in 2024, it's just time to really step into that authentic version of ourselves and to stop placing so much value on who we are based on what other people think of us. A very simple and yet looked over way to stop being a people pleaser is to get to know yourself more. Once you really know who you are, like you truly know who you are at your core, you know what you like to do, you know the places that you like to go, you know the type of people that you want to be around, you know the type of person that you are, you know the type of life that you want to live, and you know the type of life that you are creating for yourself, you will begin placing less value on what other people think of you just simply because you know who you are. When I think back to when I was like at my people pleasing like peak in life, it was also where I genuinely felt like I didn't truly know who I was at my core. It really does go hand in hand. When you start to spend more time with yourself, taking yourself out on dates, being in alone time, sitting in silence, literally just sitting with yourself and with your thoughts, not watching TV, not on social media, not with a friend or a family or even your significant other, like literally just sitting with you, yourself, and in your being, you will learn so much about yourself that you probably never even knew. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it might sound weird, but literally sit there and talk to yourself, have conversations with yourself. I cannot tell you how many conversations I've actually just had with myself in the mirror or, you know, just anywhere, and how enlightening that has been to just have a conversation with myself. Literally just prioritizing time with self will help you to find out who you truly are, what you truly value, and that will literally help you so tremendously with literally being able to just free yourself from what other people think of you, because you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you know where you're going in life, you know your purpose in life. Another way you can stop people pleasing, and this one is something that a lot of you may not even consciously realize that you do, but stop over apologizing for just simply being yourself. It pains me so much when I'm around someone who is constantly apologizing for the simplest things. I mean, it could literally be something as simple as you messed up your sentence, or you said the wrong thing, or you just stumbled over a word, and all of a sudden it's,
oh my god, I'm so sorry, don't mind me, I'm so dumb, don't mind me, I'm so sorry. Like,
honestly, I don't know about you, but that makes me so uncomfortable to hear. And honestly, it probably makes the people that you're around uncomfortable as well, because in the back of our minds, we're just thinking, girl, what are you apologizing for? What are you saying sorry for? Like, stop apologizing for yourself. And even if you aren't consciously thinking that, because you might do it too, subconsciously it creates an aura of just putting yourself as less than and just feeling like you need to apologize constantly. Like, it just doesn't feel good. Essentially, you are lowering yourself and you're saying, I messed up. And a lot of times you didn't even mess up in a massive way, and it's honestly not a big deal, but you drawing more attention to whatever the mistake was, especially if it was a minor one, it really does create that just weird vibe. I can't really put my tongue on what I'm trying to say, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. Constantly apologizing or taking accountability for others' wrongdoings isn't fair to anyone, and it absolutely is not fair to you. Because this is a habit that you're going to have to break if you do find yourself constantly apologizing, the way that I kind of look at habits and something that helps me is, instead of just Xing something out, I actually try to replace it with something else. So in this instance, when you get the urge to apologize, instead try replacing that apology with gratitude. In this case, it will look something like this. If you're running late, instead of when you get there saying,
oh my god, I'm so sorry that I'm so late,
say to that person instead, I'm so grateful that you waited on me. Thank you for your patience. Even that just simple switch just changes the vibe. It changes the whole aura. It really does shift the energy, and it just keeps things very, very positive. Because if you're running late, 9 times out of 10, that person was maybe already getting a little bit annoyed. If you sit there and lower yourself and apologize, you very well could do that, but you could also show them gratitude, and I promise you that would help them feel a lot better about them waiting for you, because the waiting is already done. Like, it's already done. You're already late. Might as well just keep the energy as high as possible responsible and put some positivity out there. And that can be done in so many different situations, but the next time you feel like apologizing, replace it with gratitude and see how people respond to you. Another way you can stop people pleasing, and this one is a big one, stop assuming others' thoughts of you. You will never ever truly know what someone thinks about you. Thank God that we were not blessed with the ability to read minds. This world would be literally chaos, but you will never know truly the depth of what someone thinks or feels about you. And to be completely honest with you, that is absolutely none of your business anyway. You are not responsible for how others perceive you. What you are responsible for is how you perceive yourself, how you carry yourself, how you show up in the world, and truly defining who you are as a person. If you walk into a room overly consumed and overly concerned with what everyone else in that room is thinking of you in a negative way, trust me, that energy is going to convey. People in that room are going to sense that negative energy. They're not going to necessarily know what it is about you, but they're going to know that the vibe is off. As humans, we have that innate ability to sense vibes. If you're thinking,
oh my God, people are gonna think I look like this, or I hope people don't think I'm being rude, or I hope people don't think I'm acting shy, or I hope people don't think my hair looks weird, or I hope my makeup isn't messed up, I hope my dress looks nice.
Like, if you're constantly having these insecure, negative thoughts about yourself and about the way that people are perceiving you, trust me, it is going to convey. People are going to feel that and sense that energy. Then it's gonna be shown to you. You're literally going to be able to see that people are kind of just put off by you, and that energy is going to then validate what you thought people were thinking about you, but in reality, it's just your bad vibe that they're sensing. On the other hand, if you walk into a room knowing you're that girl, trusting the decisions that you made on the way that you look, being confident regardless of what people are thinking of you, and not even really overly thinking about yourself in a negative way, thinking about what value you can add to the people in that room, exuding nothing but love and nothing but confidence, that energy is also going to radiate off of you, and you are going to become so magnetic. People are going to be drawn to you. People are going to think you light up the room because you actually are lighting up the room. Your energy and your confidence is going to shine. There are literally so many people that are not practicing that are not fully confident in a space, that are feeling, you know, that negativity. So seeing that like inverse of that and really feeling that, people are going to be able to notice that as well. Honestly, I could make a whole video on that. If you guys do want to see that, definitely let me know in the comments. But that is how you literally become magnetic when you enter a space, and that is how you also show yourself that, hey, I really am that girl, and I don't care what anyone else thinks of me because I know I'm her. I know I look gorgeous. I know I'm a great person, and I know that to know me is to love me. One of the hardest pills to swallow in life is that not everyone is going to like you anyway. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody's going to continue to have an opinion of you. So why sit there and drag your own energy down by what someone else might think that you don't even know that they think? What? This sounds crazy. Like, when you really actually say it, it sounds crazy, but trust me, I am guilty of this as well. Sitting in the corner of a room and just being on my phone because I just am so dragged down by what other people think of me that I'm like not even socializing or talking to anyone. And then going even deeper than that, if you've been in a situation where you meet someone, or you know, you have someone in your life and they for whatever reason have an issue with you that they haven't properly communicated to you, that they've been very passive aggressive about, and that you actually don't know if it's an issue, but it's still kind of driving you insane because that people-pleasing version of yourself is like,
I really want them to like me. I don't know why they don't like me. I don't know why they have an issue with me. I don't know what I did wrong.
Cut it. Let's cut that right here. Because a lot of times if someone has a random issue with you, like you know you didn't do anything wrong to them, or if they're not even mature enough to be able to communicate how they feel about you to you, they don't deserve to be in your life anyway. And a lot of times it's an underlying issue that they really have within themselves. So let that go, because if you know you didn't do anything wrong, why are you driving yourself insane trying to figure out what you did wrong? A lot of times people are just projecting how they truly feel about themselves onto you. So if you do run into a situation like that, don't let it get to you. Just allow it to roll off your shoulders. Again, stand in that knowing of who you are, and it really won't affect you as much because you know who you are, you know your intentions, you know your heart. And if they really have a problem with you, they can come up to you and have an adult conversation about it, and it can be squashed, you know? Okay, so now let's talk setting boundaries. A lot of times this is very, very hard for someone who's previously identified as a people pleaser to actually do, but it is 100% necessary in this next chapter in your life. Disclaimer, it will feel uncomfortable to do this at first, but it's worth it. Trust the process. A common misconception about boundary setting is that if you set boundaries for yourself, people will lose respect for you. When the truth is, the reality of that is that it is actually the polar opposite. The amount of respect that you gain when you set standards for how you want to be treated and how you want to show up in the world and you stand on them is actually insane. Not only will you gain respect from the people around you, you'll also gain so much respect for yourself. There's something so sexy about doing what you said that you were going to do and standing on your values. I can't explain it, I can't make this up, but it feels so good. I made a whole video on how to regain trust within yourself, different tips and tricks you can actually do to actually rebuild your trust if you feel like that trust has been broken. So if you are interested in that and you want to hear a full video on that, definitely go ahead and go back and watch my last video. There are several different types of boundaries that you can establish. There are romantic boundaries between you and a romantic partner, friendships within your family, but by far I feel like the most important and the most life-changing boundaries that you can set are those within yourself. Boundaries set the tone for how you show up in the world, and they are an outward expression of self-love. They say to the world, I know who I am, I know what I want, I know what I deserve, and what I'm willing to tolerate in my life. Emphasis on your life because you actually are the star in your own movie. You know that, right? If nobody's ever told you before, I want you to know the world actually does revolve around you. At least your world revolves around you. And honestly, it's time that you start walking in that knowing. Here's an example of a boundary that you can set for yourself and how to respond if someone tries to kind of overstep that boundary or try to change that boundary in minor ways just because they kind of want you to stay in the version of you that allows them to be more comfortable and that allows them to continue to kind of treat you however they want you to. So let's say you set the boundary of going to bed every night at 11 p.m. because you want to wake up early in the morning. You enjoy your mornings. That's just what you want to do. You like having a slow morning. I'm the exact same way. You like having a slow morning, but you can't have a slow 5-6 a.m. morning without going to bed at a decent time, or else you're going to be so tired the next day and it just won't make sense. Also, with going to bed earlier, you decide that you only want to go out one weekend per month because you are focused on your goals, you're focused on your dreams, and you want to be able to put that time that you have on the weekends into yourself. So with all that being said, someone asks you to go out and honestly it's last minute. It's literally day of, and the old version of yourself probably would have said yes even though you didn't want to, or even though you've already been out for one weekend in that month, or even if you just didn't want to go. The old people-pleasing version of yourself probably would have said yes to that invite even though it was the last minute. They thought to invite you at the last minute and didn't really have any regard to what you really had going on. But this is what the new boundary setting, standing on business version of you is actually going to say. Hey Tina, I appreciate you thinking of me, but unfortunately I won't be able to go out with you all tonight. I would love to plan something with you on a different occasion though, and hope you all have fun. Get out of the habit of feeling like you have to make up an excuse or make up a lie for why you don't want to do something, and get more comfortable with saying no for no reason. Get more comfortable with saying no just because you don't want to, and not having to feel like you have to provide an excuse that, again, might be a lie just to make that other person feel like your reasoning was valid. If you don't want to do something, that is more than enough validation for you not to do that thing. And I know you might be thinking, well, Kay, I don't want to seem like a mean person. I don't want to lose friends. But let me tell you something about that. If someone chooses to walk out of your life because of a boundary that you set to better yourself, they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. And honestly, it's something that at first with boundary setting was a little intimidating to me, but now since I've actually implemented them and have been standing on my own boundaries, it's honestly felt great to see who's really in my life for me and who's really just wanting me around for their personal gain or just trying to use me for who I am or for whatever weird reason they would like to use people. In most cases, if you lose friends because you've set boundaries for yourself or because you're wanting to better your life, they weren't really your friend at all, and this was just a catalyst that both you needed and they needed to really just go your separate ways. Because if they had real love for you as who you are as a person and not just what you can do for their lives, they would respect that boundary and they would honor it. And it's really just as simple as that. So the main takeaways that I want you to really take from this video are that people pleasers always finish last, and simply because they put themselves last. If you are constantly pouring into the cup of others and never into your own, it is literally bound to run dry. If you are constantly filling your own cup, it is then bound to run over and to overflow, that then you can actually pour into other people and actually help them in a real and genuine way, while also knowing that you yourself are full. Setting boundaries does not make you a bad person. It actually means that you are being so good to yourself, and in that being good to yourself, you're going to be able to open yourself up to be more good to others. You can't read minds, so stop trying to. You are not responsible for what other people think of you. You're only responsible for what you think of you. And lastly, you are the star of your life. Start treating yourself as such. Main character energy all 2024. With that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap up today's video here. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something from it, if you are done with people pleasing in every way, shape, and form and ready to step into a life that is free of other people's opinions, start setting boundaries for yourself and standing on business, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Also give this video a big thumbs up. It definitely helps me so much more than you know. I definitely appreciate all the love that I've been getting on my previous videos, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.